Deep inside Japan's Maninji Buddhist temple, monks perform a highly unusual maintenance routine. They gather in the dim temple light to carefully snip the dark hair of a single porcelain artifact. The object is over a century old and made entirely of inorganic materials. Despite this, it inexplicably grows human hair. The persistent biological growth on a piece of fired clay provides a documented physical record of an anomaly that continues to this day. In 1918, 17-year-old Eikichi Suzuki lived with his family in a working-class Japanese neighborhood where they struggled to make ends meet on meager wages. Eikichi's 4-year-old sister, Kikuko, wanted a doll for her birthday, but the family couldn't afford one. To buy the gift himself, Eikichi spent an entire month performing extra manual labor to save his earnings. He eventually purchased a traditional doll featuring a vibrant red kimono and straight, pitch-black hair cut into a sharp bob at the neckline. Kikuko named the doll Okiku. She became inseparable from the toy, brushing its hair every morning and sleeping with it every night. This bond was cut short when Kikuko contracted a severe case of malaria. She died just a few days later, clutching the Okiku doll to her chest. In local mourning traditions, the deceased's favorite possessions are burned alongside them. This ritual is meant to release the spirit's attachments to the living world. While the Suzuki family intended to burn the doll with Kikuko, the local temple denied them permission to include the object in the pyre. Instead, they placed the doll on a shelf in their living room as a memorial. The doll remained on that shelf for months, a permanent physical anchor for a mourning process that had been denied its traditional ritual conclusion. The first signs of a haunting were auditory. Eikichi and his parents began waking to the sound of faint whispers and soft laughter echoing from the hallway at night. Soon, the doll began to move. Eikichi once found the artifact sitting in the middle of his sister's old drawings in a room that had been locked from the outside. Eikichi then noticed a physical change. The doll's hair, which originally stopped at the neck, had grown down to its shoulders. The black strands had taken on a brownish tint and developed visible split ends. Attempting to treat the object like a normal toy, Eikichi's mother took a pair of scissors and cut the hair back to its original length. That night, she woke from a nightmare to find the Okiku doll sitting directly on her chest. The physical act of cutting the hair appeared to change the nature of the haunting, shifting the activity from strange noises to direct physical contact. Desperate for sleep, Eikichi's father took the artifact to an empty field and buried the doll deep in the ground. Later that night, a heavy rhythmic pounding began at the front door. The force was enough to vibrate the floorboards and walls, as if the house were being hit by an earthquake. When the father opened the door, the doll was already standing in the hallway. Its hair suddenly lengthened, wrapping around the father's throat and beginning to strangle him. As the father dropped to his knees, Eikichi shouted his sister's name. The doll immediately went limp, and the hair released its grip. The family realized they could not destroy or exile the object. Every attempt to remove it resulted in a more violent confrontation. This cycle of nocturnal sounds, sudden movement, and continuous hair growth became a constant in the Suzuki household for the next 20 years. The activity followed a strict schedule, with the most aggressive events occurring every year during the week of Kikuko's birthday. In 1938, the family finally surrendered the doll to the Maninji temple. Despite the efforts of trained monks to cleanse the artifact, the phenomena continued. The temple now maintains strict containment. The doll is kept in a wooden box, photography is banned, and visitors report that prolonged eye contact leads to vivid nightmares. Beyond the growing hair, monks have documented a new development. The doll's porcelain mouth is slowly parting, and small, realistic teeth are now emerging from the lower jaw. This leaves us with a central question. Is this doll a vessel for a specific spirit,